everyone, welcome back to the PRL YouTube channel. Welcome to the first round of Tier 2. I'm struggling already to speak. We are here in Bahrain. It is the first round of a brand new tier. Brand new in the sense there's a lot of brand new drivers who you guys will not have seen race before. I haven't seen race before. So it's going to be interesting for all of us. I'm just going to quickly share the stream now in the Discord. Streams at everyone. Apologies for the ping to everyone, but come over and watch. Qualifying get underway. As hopefully it gets underway. Time is looking a little bit bugged at the moment. Let's see. Hello, Hansen. How you doing? That seems to be working. The session is not working. Now this would be a very tier 2 way to start off the new season. Hopefully everything sorts itself out in a second. Let's find out. Guess who? Yeah, I know who you are. Monsieur Pinky. Session timer. Right, there we go. We've got 15 drivers for you today. Not as many as we were wanting, but not too bad, to be honest, considering what we were looking like. We have a few people missing, a few full-timers missing, which is a shame, but still enough to make at least an interesting championship battle from the get-go. We have a few new names. We've got Charlie Harris, who is new. Astro Ace's new. Iron Kid, who is new. Chris has been here before, I believe. Tazzy, who is Real Morocco, has not been here before. Jens has been here before. He was for F2. Volin is a tier 2 old guard. He's been here for a while. I don't know who this guy is, but he's here. He joined about 20 minutes ago, I think. DMT is our newest American racer. He's very excited, as am I. Fatboot is new. He is a full-time tier 2 driver. Franz has been here for a while. Jay-Z, I think, has been here for a while. And L4E Kadoy has been here for a while. And Patrick Dodge, who is new. Jake Thompson. Looking forward to watching this one. Hoping it's a good one. Me too, mate. Me too. I have made it abundantly clear that racing is almost secondary today. I want everyone to keep it clean. We've had issues with Tier 2 in the past being a fucking nutcase asylum for the weirdest people in the racing community, just taking each other out and not turning up. So fingers crossed everyone gets through this race okay. We've got racing tools, I believe it's connected, so everyone's going to get the fun things. Jay-Z here, reserved a couple of times, first time on a full-time seat. Yeah, first time full-time seat. Good to have you, mate. Pleasure to have you. In fact, we will go on board with you. Oh, you're in the pits. Maybe not. We will go on board with Charlie Harris, as he looks like he is going to be the first one to start a lap. Everyone getting out of the way nicely of each other in quali. I'm on the edge, yeah, because I do not want to see anyone facing backwards and making arguments in the chat, because it usually ends to people leaving the server and us having to find more full-time drivers. As we have Charlie Harris, the reserve, coming across the line to start the first flying lap of the Tier 2 season. Why is someone on hards? I have no idea. He's a new guy. Charlie Harris getting it, very deep into turn 1. Very, very deep. The Ferrari getting out of the way nicely, but that's going to cost him a couple of tenths at the least, and I have no idea what that Red Bull's on hards. He seems like a strange dude. Charlie Harris is, I imagine, going to set the fastest first sector, and he does, because no one else has come across. It's a 29.2. I have no idea if that's good or not yet. Looks like he's got this section done nicely. Not as wide as you could take, but still done something. Still done pretty nicely. Into turn 7, we're going to call it, and down into the tight left-hander. Gets on the curb and gets it straightened up nicely. And there we go, power. And he's going to power down the back straight towards the final sector. And Charlie is going to be the one to set the provisional pole time for everyone else to chase for the rest of this quali. Gets a little bit of a wiggle, gets it out wide again. Is going to come across a 1:08.2 Has a little bit of a moment. I believe Mr. Cookie, I think in the pre-season race, set a 107. So he's quite a way off Mr. Cookie. But Charlie Harris, this is his first lap on the green track. And it obviously maybe not quite tuned into the track just yet. And he comes across and he sets a 30.5. That is the time everyone's going to have to beat. Looks like we've got an Alpine who is going to come across the line. It is Jens, and we'll see what he can do. Doesn't quite say whether he has gone fastest or not. He's going to, looks like he is, with a 29.3, so he goes almost a second and 0.2 quicker. So very nicely done from him. We have a Red Bull coming across. That's Rabs with the 39 on those hards. Fair enough. Franz with a 32.4. And Volon Johannes putting himself up into P3 with a 31.1. Looks like we've got a Ferrari. No, it's Kadoy who is going to be coming across, but he looks like he's backed out. He doesn't have inters on. Yeah, true. I'm not entirely sure whether he has backed out of his lap or he's going to go for one again. He looks like he is going to go for one again. We've got Patrick Dodge on his lap, who looks like he's going to be setting a time that's going to be the top 5. It's going to be a 32.2 into P4. So quite a big field spread at the moment. We've got an Aston Martin of Iron Kid coming across, and he sets a 30.2 and goes P2. But Jens is absolutely wiping the floor at the moment with these guys. He is almost a second clear. So very nicely done from him. We'll have to see whether the other guys can get close. I know L4EH has good pace. I know Farfbur has good pace. Looks like we've got, is that Charlie Harris, who I imagine will just be coming into the pits, as his time is still good enough for P3 at the moment. We have no one else on a lap at the moment. It looks like Jay-Z is on a lap. He's on a 7.7, so that's definitely quicker than Charlie. To be interested to see what he can do. He looks like he has the Williams in the way. Is he going to get a bit of a slipstream? He is. Hard to tell if that's hurt him or not, but it is a 29.7, so only 0.4 away from the best pole time. Looks like we've got Haas getting out of the way nicely. And a Ferrari coming across, I imagine, to start his lot, which will be the real Maroc. As he doesn't, he sets a 34.6. So he's quite a way down. Check the Discord to make sure everyone's behaving. Full quali, it's not. It's not full quali, is it? Don't do me like that. Oh, good lord. No, it's short quali. What are you on about? Sorry, give me 2 seconds. I'm having a meltdown here. Little panic. Everything over, panic over, everyone's fine. Looks like we have had Astro Ace put up into P8. Rabs is P7 on those hards, which is quite impressive. And he has gone fastest on those hards. Praying that's a game glitch, otherwise this guy has some serious pace. Let's see, he takes that nicely. It looks like he's going to come across the line and set a 32.1 on the hards. I have no idea what this guy's doing, but he's got decent pace. Fair enough. Looks like Real Maroc is going to be coming into the pits. So we've still got Farfbur and L4EH to set times, who I know are pretty quick. DMT is on his lap. Gets the corner done nicely. Doesn't run out as wide as you can, but he is going to come across the line and set a 31.2, putting up to P7. So time's starting to... He thinks it's the new quali format. Maybe, yeah. Maybe he's ahead of us. Maybe he's ahead of the times. 3 laps on those hard tyres. He's still going. Lord knows what this guy's doing. But he's having fun. That's the main thing. Fastbook still in the pits. L4EH is on his outlap, so it'll be very interesting to see whether he can get close to Jens, who is very impressively on a 29.3 at the moment. I believe pole time for Tier 1 was a 28.4, so they've still got about 9/10 to go to get anywhere near to that. But that was obviously a last minute run. Speedy Bullet wants in. Can you? Right, Speedy Bullet is he's missed out, but we're trying to get it back in. Meanwhile, we will watch L4EH, a contender for pole. I hope so. As we see that the Alpine gets out of the way nicely, no blocking so far, and gets the car turned in nicely to turn one. Gets on the power, cuts the corner a little bit onto the curb on the right. Very nicely done from him. And Speedy Bullet is going to be in a second, hopefully. It'll bump us up to 16. Rabs is in the pits on those hard tyres. And L4EH has set the fastest first sector, so there you go. He looks like he's going to be challenging the Alpine, hopefully for our sake, as everyone else is pretty far away at the moment. And he is going to come down into the tight left-hander. We'll see what he can do. We'll jump off board with him. Gets it turned in nicely, clips the apex. Has a little bit of a wiggle, it looks like, but still power down pretty nicely. Coming up to the sweeping left-hander. We will see whether he takes this as nicely he did the last corner. Looks like we've got a Mercedes getting out of the way of the McLaren. L4EH has taken that nicely. What can he do in the second sector? It'll be interesting to see. He is on a 8.0, which isn't quick enough. I think Jay-Z was on a 7.7. So yeah, their game giving us a little bit of false hope with the purple sectors. And L4EH is going to come across the line, and he is going to set... I've gone way too early on that. We've still got about 5 seconds to go. He is going to set a 30.1, putting him nicely into P3. Friend request received. There we go. Let's... there we go. All right, how do I invite people? Here we go. There we go. There we go. Hopefully Speedy Bullet can get in. And everything's going to be fine. Looks like we have had Kadoy put it up into P6, I believe, with a 30.7. And still Fast Booth yet to set a time. We'll jump on board with him. So he looks like he's pushing pretty hard on his outlap. He should have time. Oh, maybe it might be close to getting in and out. Everyone getting out of the way nicely in Collie, which is good to see. But we will stay on board with the Rebel Man. I believe the winner of the pre-season race. I was not there, but I believe he won. So we know he's got pace. It'll be interesting to see whether he can challenge Jens for this pole position, which is looking pretty comfortable at the moment. So here we go into turn one. He is going to take it nice and tight to the apex. Misses it a little bit. Does he cut the corner? He does. Doesn't use as much of the curb on the right as we've seen, but still nicely done. And we'll be looking for, I think, somewhere in the 28s here. I haven't been paying as much attention as I probably should have, but he's going to come across the second sector split, and it is a 28.8. So that could be good, or it could not be good. I'm not entirely sure. Looks like Jens is on another lap, so everyone will be hoping he doesn't improve as Fast gets it nicely into the right-hander. Speedy Bullet in that Mercedes is in, and that is lovely to see, and good for their constructors' hopes. Fast put into the tight left-hander, takes quite a lot of speed in, actually gets it turned in very nicely, and powers onto the back straight. And I believe we're going to be looking, we're talking the flat 27s here, I think, to be challenging Jens, who, in fact, we will have a look on Jens. He's a little, has he set another time, or is he on another time? I'm not entirely sure, but we'll jump back to Fastbur, who is a 7.4. So closer than L4EH. Kadoy has gone with a 29.6 into P2, so he's pretty close. Everyone is creeping up towards the Alpine. Can Fastbur put himself onto the front row? Can he put himself onto pole? The Alpine gets out of the way, so Williams gets out of the way pretty nicely. Fast is going to come across the line, and he is going to set a 29.5. Does slot in between the top two, puts himself on the front row. So all of a sudden, things looking a little bit more competitive than they were about 3 minutes ago, which is good to see for my sake and for your sake and for everyone else's sake. We've still had Speedy Bullets, obviously not set a lap time. Rabs is, what is he on? What's he on now? Let's have a look. He's on soft tyres, fantastic. Not and they're going 2/10 quicker. So he had some good pace on his hard tyres, although he has just wasted his hard tyres for the race, I believe. So a strange choice from him, but he'll be hoping to get up as far as possible. Take Vital off the curb on the right hand. Jens we will jump on board with and see. He looks like he hasn't improved. So he's going to jump back into the pits. So pole is looking a lot more open than it was about 5 minutes ago. I kind of want to see what Rabs is doing on moves. Fresh set of hard, softs even. He is 5/10 up. So currently this is going to be only good enough for about P7, P8. You think there'd be a bigger improvement on the soft tyres. But he's going to get a little bit of screen from the Ferrari ahead of him. Coming into the right-hander, takes it nicely onto the back straight, or the main straight even. Cador is retired from the session. Obviously just think he couldn't go any quicker. Rabs has come across into P8 with a 31.4. So we thought he had incredible pace on the hards, and it turned out not to be on the softs. Looks like we've got JZ, who is on a lap, I believe. He is gone 400 down, 4/10 down even. So I imagine he will not complete this lap, and he will come back in. Yeah, backs off. And jump into the pits, strap on a new set of boots, and it's going to be tight actually for him. If he gets in and out in time, might have to push on his outlap. Fast Jens and L4EH will have time, Iron Kid as well. Looks like we've had Charlie Harris go 4/10 up on his time, so he's setting the timing sheet to light. At the moment, we will jump on board with him, stay on board with him, and actually see what he can do. Because he'll be wanting to propel himself up into the pole fight. Still got almost a second and a quarter to find, but a 4/10 improvement in the first sector is a pretty good way to start. Looks like we've had an Aston Martin going slowly, letting people through. Charlie coming into the sweeping left-hander, takes that pretty nicely, gets on the power, takes all the track available, and what can he do coming into the second sector split? As I've just been electrocuted by my own headphones. And it's a 7.3, so 8/10 up. He's got some serious pace at the moment, looking like he could challenge Jens. This will be his one and only time for the rest of this qualifying session, so he's going to have to make this one count. We'll see what he can do in that beautiful Alfa Romeo. Takes it nicely, takes all the track available, right onto the curb as well. Is he going to get up to the top of the timing sheets? He's going to do a 29.4. So not good enough for pole, but still a pretty good time from Charlie. We will see whether that will be beaten. JZ in the pits. I don't think he's going to get in and out. Might have to concede that one. L4EH has gone 2.5 tenths quicker on his lap. So he's looking like, he's really gone on the curve there, but doesn't look like he lost too much time. Fast and Jens are both on their outlaps. So it might be between those two for who gets pole. Unless L4EH can put in a stonking middle sector, and we will see what he can do. Elsewhere, Speedy Bullet has gone up into P8 on his one run with a 30.8, so very nicely done from him. And we will see what the AlphaTauri man can do coming into the second sector. He's going to have a pretty good one. Is it in the 7s? It is, and it's a 7.3, so pretty much the same as Charlie. He's going to have a better final sector, maybe a little bit more straight line speed on that car. If he wants a chance at beating Jens' time, although Jens does have the chance to beat his own time, can L4EH get onto the front row? Can he take pole? For the moment, we will see when he comes across the line. This is going to be very interesting to see. It is a 29.322, and he does. He only just beats it, but he has beaten it, and that is good for him. He's going to love that. Jens and Farth are not going to love that. Jens looks like he is not starting his lap yet. Farth is just about to, so we will keep an eye on those two and their sector times for the rest of this qualifying session. Apologies if I miss other people out. So Farth coming across the line to start his final lap of this qualifying session. Round 1, Bahrain of Tier 2. Thank you all for joining me. We've got 8 people watching, which is quite big for us. Farth coming up onto the second straight, powering up. Looks like he got that done nicely. DRS open. Going to take a wide line, not particularly, kind of a mid-line into the corner. Gets it done nicely. Gets the car straightened very nicely, in fact. And it is a 20.7, and he is almost a 10th up on his time. Jens is going to be... he hasn't beaten his time. So can Farth snatch pole right at the last here? Or is L4EH going to keep it, or is Jens going to take it? We've got 3 people in contention at the moment. Charlie Harris looks like he's out of it. Yeah, he's finished his time. Iron Kid, unless he can do something pretty special, he's only 2 tenths up, so maybe not at the moment. Farth still waiting to come across that second sector's time. But this is going to be crucial for him if he wants a shot at dethroning the Hungarian man in the AlphaTauri. Looks like I've got a yellow flag Not entirely sure what for, and fast is a 7.2, so that's quicker than L4EH, as L4EH actually gets out of the way pretty nicely. And this is going to be a good lap for Farth. If he can hook up this final corner, that'd be very interesting to see where he places. Can he take pole? What about Jens? He is 5/10 up on his time, bloody hell. So he's got some serious pace. So looking like Jens is the man at the moment. It's a 29.2 for Farth, but it looks like probably Jens is going to beat this quite comfortably. What's he going to do? Is it going to be the 28? So it's a 28.8. So he goes 4/10, almost 3.5 tenths quicker down the Red Bull. And that is a very nice job from the Alpine on his Tier 2 debut. But looking very close behind him, actually. So he's put a bit of a gap between him and the rest of the field. We've got Farth in second, L4EH in third, and Charlie in fourth, all covered very closely. And JC actually and Iron Kid all within the 29s. And there you go. That was a pretty good qualifying session, I think. Everyone got out of the way pretty nicely. I'm just going to tag everyone and make sure that they just wait a bit for... Give me 2 seconds. Strategies. There we go. Right, there is your first round of Tier 2 qualifying. Jens with a dominant performance in qualifying, taking the P1 with a 28.8. Farth closely behind him in the Red Bull with a 29.2. And then we've got L4EH rounding out the qualifying podium positions. Then we've got Charlie in fourth, Kadoy in fifth, Jay-Z in sixth, Iron Kid in seventh, Speedy Bullet with, I think, a one-lap shootout in eighth, Rabs, who decided to put on the softs at some point, in ninth, DMT in 10th, Volin in 11th, Astro in 12th, Patrick in 13th, Franz in 14th, Real Morocco in 15th, and Chris running up the field at 4.7 seconds off in 16th. And there we go. That is your qualifying for Tier 2. And hopefully the race is as clean, as exciting as that qualifying was. That was the easy bits. Now was the hard bits. Turn 1, Turn 2, Turn 3. I'm expecting maybe a few people to be facing backwards. Fingers crossed, everyone, that they are not. I'm going to take a sip of my drink. In fact, if anyone can guess what I'm drinking today, I'll give you, I don't know, you can have half a point in the championship. Because I'm usually drinking on the job here on commentary. As it looks like everyone's being very well behaved and not reading up yet, which is good to see. Blood was faster than me in quali. Yeah, he's a good... Not wine. I don't think you'll get it. Moretti, not Moretti. It's a bit of a weird one. I probably shouldn't be saying it. It's a little bit embarrassing. It's weird. Not Stella. Right, looks like we're about to go. Hopefully I've turned the formation lap on. We'll find out in a second. Please give me one light and everyone goes. Hooch. It's not Hooch. Yeah, good. Right, let's look at the tyres. We have... Oh, wow. Real pink hooch, not pink hooch. Not any kind of hooch. Stinky. We have Jens on the mediums, Farth on the hards, and L4EH on the softs. What a little difference we've got going on there in the top three. Charlie Harris on the hards, Kadoy on the mediums, Jay-Z on the softs, Sex on the beach, and it's not moonshine. I'm not a 1930s American cowboy. We've got Rabs using his softs that he saved by going on the hards, and then everyone else on the mediums. You guys are way off. I'm not going to lie. It's not gin. It is a spirit and a mix, so I'll give you that. As we entertain ourselves for the formation lap. I probably should do my job and think of something to say, but pretty boring at the moment. Looks like Jens is setting a pretty fast pace. We've got Charlie Harris, who's taking his sweet time, putting a bit of a Simon Barca fan. Disaronno, nope. No, oh, not Disaronno and Kirk. Disaronno's horrible. Jack Kohler. Nope. Nope. Again, it's kind of embarrassing. It was a really makeshift drink. I didn't want to drink beer. It was a bit of a makeshift drink. The only thing I've got in the house. J-Horse, take that back. I don't know what I said. Not fruit shoot. Not fruit shoot. J-Horse, take that back. What did I say? It was about Disaronno. It's horrible, man. There you go. Possible race strategies. You can do the 2-stop around here. It is a couple of seconds slower. Disaronno. It's not Disaronno. Or a Fred. Milk. It's not milk. It's not milk. It's alcoholic. I'm not a baby. Right, everyone looks like they are starting to form up as we take our minds away from drink chat. Bloody hell, Farth is really angled towards Jens, so that's going to be interesting to see if he gets a good start on those hard tyres. He's properly angling towards, so a pretty aggressive start from him. Incoming, I imagine. What does it begin with? Milk is nice, you're right. As we are going to get underway. Looks like it's 1 lights, 2 lights, 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And we are underway for tier 2, are we? Are we underway? We are underway. Looks like Jens has got a pretty good start compared to the guys around him. Farth with a pretty good start on those hard tyres. Although I imagine L4H is going to try and make this move around the outside on those soft tyres. He looks like he's got very good grip. And just backs out of the move on the leader, but Farth has lost a position. Probably to be expected with those hard tyres. Looks like everyone else has got through cleanly. This is amazing. What's going on? Jens still leading into turn 1. L4H is going to want to get that P1 as quickly as possible. We will see on the position changes. Looks like Rabs has got up pretty quickly, and everyone's facing the right way. Guys, this is the best thing that's ever happened to this league. You guys are amazing. Von and Johannes, Patrick and Franz Piper all making up positions as L4H is pretty racy on those hard tyres. Looks like Iron Kid has got past Kadoy and is now up into P5. And everyone is still... What, guys? What's going on? Everyone's facing the right way. This is incredible. Everyone... Oh, a little wiggle in the back there. I think that was the Mercedes of Astro. And actually, that is Chris Piper, who has lost a bit of time, but crucially, everyone's facing the right way. L4H, 4 tenths behind Jens. Farth is really closing in on those hard tyres. I imagine... Don't jinx it. Yeah, I've really ruined it there. These guys still having a bit of ERS to play with. Charlie Harris has lost a lot of time on those hard tyres. So we are looking potentially at a 3-way fight already. Kadoy on the mediums, I believe he was. Go away, Chris Piper. Not you. Tyres, yep. Kadoy and Iron Kid both on those medium tyres behind Charlie Harris. So it'll be interesting to see whether he can... Charlie Harris really weaving on that main straight to break the toe from the Ferrari behind him. Is anyone going to send it up the inside? Doesn't look like it. Looks like I'm missing a fight for the lead. Looks like L4EH has got past Jens and is now... Jens has a little bit of a moment and now might be under threat from the Red Bull behind him. But that was crucial for L4EH's race even, as he is now up into P1 to try and break that 1 second mark from the guys behind him. Looks like Rabs has got past, or is being passed by Jay-Z. Hopefully these guys leave each other space. They do. What is going on? Is it just Australia's tier 2 much cleaner than tier 1? It is. I don't know what's going on. I feel like we've sold something here. Sold our soul for a clean tier 2 race. We're going to have absolute stinkers for the rest of the season. But I'm going to stop jinxing it. Kadoy still behind Charlie Harris, who is just beginning to close up on the guys ahead of him. And Jens still clinging on to the back of L4EH, who is not breaking away as much as he would want. He is going to have a tough time on those. Oh, as Jens almost loses it. But still, tier 1 is clean too, at least the front. Yeah, tier 1 actually was pretty clean yesterday. It's only clean because Jimmy isn't here to send it. True. Australia is always chaos. That is true as well. Looks like we've had... I can't see what's going on. Everyone's comments out of the way. Franz Piper following Johannes. Looks like he's had a bit of a moment. Jimmy is not clean. No comment. Volin Johannes looks like he has made a bit of a mistake and dropped down a few positions. But everyone's facing the right way. I'm going to keep saying it every lap until it doesn't happen. JT and Rabs are in with this fight on the back of Charlie Harris, who is, again, closing up Hanson, you were the Alpha, right? I'm getting too involved in the chat. Not paying attention. Charlie Harris, yeah, closing up a little bit to the back of these guys out front. He'll be hoping to drag quite a few guys with him as well. So once these guys up front start fighting, which I imagine they will, look like Jens is really on the back of L4EH. No comment. I meant it in a good way. I'm trying to not get involved. I'll let you guys fight it out as L4EH has a really big locking moment into the tight right-hander and is now potentially... Rum isn't weird, so it can't be run. Well, it is rum. It is rum, but what it's with is a bit weird. As now Jens has a bit of a moment. Potentially the tyre pressures or the tyre temperatures getting to them a little bit, as we've just seen both of those rear tyres go. And Charlie Harris just maintaining that gap at the moment. Actually has broken away from the... Rum isn't weird. I know rum isn't weird, but it's what it's with is a bit weird. That's why I didn't guess. Yeah, I know. Jimmy hit you the same amount of times as you hit me. Right. Let's keep it civil in the chat. Everyone on track is keeping it. Looks like we've had Real Rock, who has had a spin. I think that was a spin and not contact. So we're still, he's not facing the right way, but you know, we take what we can get. And that's a shame for him. He's now down 16th, although we'll still score points. Everyone down to 16th score points in this league. So everyone can be pretty proud of their achievements today. If you want to... Right, stop arguing in the chat. It looks like Fastbird was trying to make a move on Jens. It looks like Jay-Z is trying to make a move on Kadoy. Is he going to try the switch back? Oh, and just has to take the curve, but does it actually very nicely on those soft tyres, which will still have a bit more pace at the moment. So he's going to get the DRS. Is he going to make a move up the inside of the Ferrari? Looks like he is, and Kadoy is going to just back out of that and think better of it and live to fight another day. Speedy Bullet has Rabs behind him on those soft tyres. DMT with quite a few cars behind him. Patrick Dodge, Franz, and Astro Ace, who looks like he's closing up to the back. So quite a few groups forming at the moment. Looks like we've got the top three, although Jens has had a bit of a moment, looks like, and is now right off the back of the two in front. With those medium tyres, he probably will be able to close back in, but that is not ideal for him. In fact, we should look on the telemetry and see how much ERS everyone's got. So L4EH really draining that ERS to stay out in front. Fast with 67 and Jens with 56. Charlie Harris is on 11, so he's really drained it to try and get into the DRS, and so far it's unsuccessful. And Iron Kid, guys, stop arguing in the chat. Iron Kid is on the back of Charlie Harris. So he'll be wanting to make the move. He hasn't got a whole lot of ERS either, but we'll probably be able to make this move with... Looks like we've had a Haas. Is that Franz Piper who spun it? It is. So we've got quite a few off the back of the pack now. We will jump on board with Iron Kid, see if he can make this move on Charlie Harris in front of him. These guys know each other pretty well. And I imagine we'll be in a party together. So we will see how much they fight. Iron Kid's going to make a move up the inside. Done pretty easily. Charlie Harris looks like he's going to back out of it, although Iron Kid went very deep and coming back into the racing line. Looks like he's blocked fairly. Charlie Harris, he doesn't have the DRS and doesn't have much ERS to play with, so that is that position lost. And Jens is not on the back of these two. So that qualifying pace seems to have deserted the Alpine man a little bit. Oh, excuse me. As Fathbert is the one in control of this race right now. Clinging on to the back of L4EH, who is still looking pretty good and has good pace on those softs. Roman Apple Juice, you're close. You're close. Looks like we've had Real Morocco spin again. So he's not having a very good race. And is now quite a few seconds off the back of the pack. Everyone's starting to spread out a little bit. But crucially, everyone is not facing the right way, but they haven't hit each other, which is the main thing. Jens 1.7 now behind the guys and having a little bit of a moment. Roman Orange Juice, you got it. Nice. Jens having a little bit of a moment. If it's orange juice, I'm quitting. It is orange juice. I had to throw it together. Jens is really struggling. I had to throw it together, right? I had no like lemonade or Coke or anything. So I've had a bit of a struggle. Looks like Franz Piper's having a little bit of a struggle. So the guys are on the back. The two Piper boys, I don't know if they're from the same country. I know they're both South African. I don't know if they know each other. But yeah, everyone is really starting to space out now. Fastbur, you're something else, Shayos. Thank you, mate. Fastbur now into the lead of this race, and he is looking pretty comfy. There's my half point. Yeah, you can have a half point. Well done. I did say that thinking that no one would get it, and then I kind of gave it away. And that's probably it. I probably shouldn't have done that. Charlie Harris on the back of his mate Iron Kids. So the two, what's the mix like? The mix. Oh, not very nice actually. It's a bit sour. Because rum isn't particularly sweet, is it? Grim, yeah. It's drinkable. It's not bad. It gets me through the... I thought it was going to be a painful tier 2 stream. And we've actually done, again, not jinxing it, we've done pretty well, I think. We have a battle for the lead, a battle for the podium, and a battle for 6th place. Jay-Z on those soft tyres, which will be really beginning to scream at him at the moment. Spice rum is top tier. True. True. The spiced Captain Morgan's is probably my favourite liquor, or spirit, or whatever. And maybe the spiced Bacardi. Actually, have you guys ever tried the Tiki Captain Morgan's or Bacardi? One of the two. It's lovely. You should try it. The Kraken, I really like Kraken. It's a little bit too dark for me sometimes. Looks like Speedy Bullet has got past Godoy, who was up, I believe, fighting for 5th at one point. And he looks like he's running to the back of Speedy Bullet, but everyone's facing the right way. This is brilliant. Dead man's fingers, never had it. Godoy, is he going to get back past the Mercedes man with the help of DRS? Looks like he's not. Speedy Bullet has a bit more ERS. Will the Ferrari man make a move down the inside? He's just going to think better of it. Guys, you're amazing. You're so clean. This is brilliant. Real Murak with a 3-second penalty as I say that, although he is in 15th. Fighting with Chris Piper at the moment. Elsewhere, we've got Iron Kid still on the back of Charlie, although it looks like Charlie Harris has actually got past with that limited ERS. So that is going to be, it's kind of becoming a fight for 4th at the moment. The top 3 are streaking away. Jens has made a better meal of it, closing up to the back of Farth, although Farth is really going to have a big advantage when it comes to the end of this race on those fresher medium tyres compared to the old hard tyres. Everyone's facing the right way. It looks like we're not going to have a safety car because the walls are quite far away in Bahrain. I don't know what's going on. This is amazing. Eat My Dust is still on for a podium as things stand. Potentially might fall away from the fight from the win with those. They will be ailing those hard tyres at the end of the race. And let me just check. What's it called? Racing Tools is on. It is brilliant. Everything's going well. What's going to go wrong? Something's going to go wrong. L4EH going to make a move. Looks like he just doesn't have the pace at the moment. Farth has some very good race pace. Didn't have the pace in quali, but with the struggles you've seen Jens have, potentially ends with a little bit of a looser setup designed for quali, and Farth with a bit more stability even. And is doing much better in the race on those hard tyres, which are a good race tyre. Around Bahrain, looks like Godoy is going to make a move on Speedy Bullet up the inside, Jinx to the right, and just thinks better of it again. Potentially help letting the Mercedes tow him along. Maybe thinks he doesn't have the pace at the moment, and just wants Speedy Bullet to bringing up to the back of Jay-Z and Iron Kid and Charlie Harris, who are still all together at the moment. Jay-Z in a bit of a land of his own actually at the moment on those soft tyres. So he'll be coming into the pits, I imagine, within the next 4 or 5 laps. As we've got a notification, everyone alright? Oh, Henson, what does he want? Just got kicked out, need new invites. Right, Chris, sorry. I did not see that. I got you. Pampo was only the 28 minutes late. Sorry, Chris. I did not see. I only have tags on at the moment. Next time, yeah. Actually, if anyone's listening and you do get kicked out, make sure to tag who's ever in charge of the stream, because I did not see that. Elsewhere, Jens is now on the back of these two with only 17% ERS. Looks like we've had. Who's that? Is that the Aston Martin of Vollen, who has had a bit of a spin? So everyone from 12th to 16th is not having the best race at the moment, but they will still pick up points, and they haven't been taken out, which is the main thing. Chris Piper has joined, thank God. He's not too far off the back actually. Everyone Rock looks like Godoy is really squeezed there. Speedy Bullet into the onto the curb there, getting that move done. Is Speedy Bullet, as Godoy has a little bit of a moment, is Speedy Bullet gonna make the move up the inside? Will have the DRS, doesn't have the ERS or the straight line Speedy. It looks like, is he gonna send one up the inside? It looks like he is, and he's gonna think better back out. This is incredible. He backs out, doesn't cause an incident like some of the guys in the old tier 2 would. And we live to fight another day, as these guys are sliding about all over the place. So you can really see, looks like we've had, who's that? That's DMT now. He's had a spin. Everyone's just spinning, which is a shame to see, as now Astro gets past him. But these guys, again, pick up decent points. Charlie Harris now 5.3 away from the leaders. So it really is a three-way fight for this podium and this win. Looking like the podium might be done and dusted. But the win is still in the question at the moment. Fastbert, you'd imagine, has the upper hand. But Jens on those medium tyres is still going to be in with a shout. If he can get a good undercut and fend off the probably faster Red Bull in the later stages of this race. Charlie Harris and Iron Kids are just pulling each other along at the moment pretty nicely as we go on to lap 10. Looks like L4EH has overtaken the Red Bull. So he's still got a bit of pace in those soft tyres, which is good to see. Jens might see if we can get him in a full-time seat, actually. He's really keeping up with these guys very nicely. Looks like JC is into the pits on those soft tyres. Again, I thought it'd been taken out, but he hadn't. He's into the soft tyres, into the pits, sorry, on those medium tyres. So he looks like he might be going for a two-stop, because that is a pretty early soft tyre pit. So probably the two-stop, the double mediums. He's going to have to make his way past a few cars as Astro Ace goes past him. And we will look further up the field. Iron Kid is just chilling behind his mate Charlie. These two not fighting too much, which you'd imagine they wouldn't for both their races. It's probably better if they don't. And the guys up front as well. All of them have a decent amount of ERS apart from L4EH, who does only have 17%. Although you'd imagine that is the case, considering he has probably got the worst tyres at the moment. Those tyres are going to be on 40-50%, and he's going to be struggling a little bit to keep the rear under control on those Red Bull soft tyres. Farth is looking pretty comfy at the moment. What's going on? Oh, Max Verstappen takes the 10th. Yeah, who cares? No one. Farth looking like he might do a Max Verstappen and take the lead of this race. Is L4EH going to come into the pits? He does. It looks like he was about to follow him in. Get the DRS. And is he going to try and break the 1 second mark from Jens, who still will have grip in those tyres, and I imagine will be able to keep in the DRS zone of the Red Bull ahead of him. Looks like we've had Charlie Harris retired from the session, and that's brought our safety car. What's that? What the fuck has happened there? I have absolutely no idea what has happened there. Has he been fighting with Iron Kids? How do you find out? I have absolutely no idea what has happened there. But Charlie Harris is out. Looks like on the main straight. His mate Iron Kid is confused as well. We're about to find out what happened. I don't know what. He has no idea what happened. Okay, fair enough. Oh, he says I don't know what happened. So he's confused as well. There won't be a safety car. The walls are pretty far away. Yeah, I shouldn't have said it. I think Charlie might have had a moment with his internet, which has thrown him into his mate Kid, and that has brought out the safety car. He was lagging a bit for me as well. I have no idea what's happened there. But Charlie Harris has been punted into the wall, and he is out, unfortunately, and that has brought out the safety car. And that is going to change things for Farth, because does he come into the pits? Jens can probably make it pretty easily to the end on those set of hard tyres. I turn right, then I'm in the wall. I have no idea what's happening there. So Farth, is he going to stay out? It looks like he is going to come in. So this is going to be, this turns the race on his head a little bit. Iron Kid again will have a good chance. L4EH has been screwed over a little bit. We'll have. He was on those soft tyres, so unless he wants to come in for hards, he probably has the gap behind him to Jay-Z, so we probably could come into the pits for a set of hard tyres and save his strategy a little bit. He's going to carry on those mediums, so fair enough. He's choosing to carry on. Will be probably leading this race, but Fastbert is going to be on those fresh mediums. Jens on those fresh hards. It looks like he's even going to get ahead of Fastbert. There we are. So. Might have a little bit of a tough time defending from the guys around him on those admittedly only they're only 1 lap older, but around Bahrain that we are talking 3 or 4 tenths per lap of tyre wear, which is quite a lot. Yeah, I have no idea what's happened to Charlie. Volin Johannes with a 5-second penalty. Yeah, no idea. Let me try and find out what's happened. The internet looks good from my side. No one's lagging about too much. We're on board with Charlie, and he wasn't lagging about. At one point you glitched back in front. Yeah, I don't know, maybe those guys have had a bit of a dodgy connection between them. Astro is looking like he might have a little bit, maybe an F1ology and RJ Blair incident. No comment. I think we're both lagging. Yeah, looks like they were both lagging a little bit, and they've just come together at the wrong time. But everyone else seems to be fine, as the safety car is now picking up the rest of these little stragglers, and hopefully we can get underway shortly. And it really throws up some interesting strategy battles for this race. I think it's just crossway, to be honest, mate. Yeah. Right, sorry, I got a bit distracted, I forgot what I was doing. So we have Fastbert on those fresh mediums and L4EH on those mediums behind him. So those two are going to be looking good to streak away, but they are definitely going to have to come into the bits if they want to get through this race without a puncture, probably. Looks like we've still got a few, looks like a Ferrari and a Williams still to come up to the back of the pack. If anyone is watching and they are racing, please do let me know about the connection. And if everyone is struggling, it looks fine to me. Let me jump off board. Everyone seems to be all right there. No one. Maybe the Mercedes looking a little bit jumpy, but yeah, everyone seems fine to me. So it might be a just the connection between those two through the crossplay server was a bit dodgy. So apologies to them. That is never a nice way to have your race ruined when you don't even know what's happened. And yeah, Jay-Z on those 3-lap-old mediums, so he's really going to struggle to make it to the end of the race if they can at all. So he's definitely going to have to come in. I think he was on the mediums, or he's on the soft to start with, so he doesn't have another set of mediums, so he can stretch these ones and strap on another one, another set even, towards the end of this race. But yeah, the medium guys are pretty compromised right now, unless we have a second safety car, which I said wasn't possible, but potentially might be possible if the internet continues to be a bit dodgy. How's it going? Hello, mate. Sorry about your race. Are we going to get underway? Looks like we've still got Chris Piper, who is taking his sweet time, and I imagine we're going to go through for another lap under the safety car, unless Bernd Mailander decides to let them all go right at the last. It looks like he won't. In that Iron Kid in that nice looking Aston Martin. Is anyone going to come into the pits? I imagine not. Yeah, the Mercedes in the back is probably the only one I can see who is looking a bit dodgy for connection. I think that's Astro, who is all the way from India. So yeah, maybe not surprising. That's quite a long way away. That happens. Not my race to win at the end of the day. Nah, mate, that's a shame. That is a real shame. You're having a very good race, and yeah, apologies for that. I'll have a look into it. I'll see if there's anything we could have done. Looks like we've had Chris Piper run into the back of Real Maroc. Has he got any wing damage? Let's have a look. The camera's not being particularly kind to me here. Brilliant. Zoom in a little closer. Come on. I think he's alright. Looks like he got slowed down just in time. Yeah, end plates are still on. So hopefully that's alright for him. it's on reduced damage, so it takes a bit more to damage your car. All these guys from DMT down to Chris Piper have been given a race lifeline, and they will be hoping that they can stay with the back of the pack. These guys at the back look like maybe their connections are not great, so we might have to look into that. Everyone from 9 up to 1 looks pretty solid to me. So yeah, we will have to wait and see. These are a lot of new people, so we're getting used to them, working out what they can and can't do in terms of racing connections. So do bear with us a little bit, but everything's been fine so far. In fact, that is a terrible connection. Jesus. Yeah, but enough connection chat. We are going to be getting underway, I imagine, in about, yeah, I think we've got a podium with them medium tyres. Yeah, potentially, mate. You were looking pretty good on those hard tyres. But yeah, Crossplay had other ideas. And EA, if you are for some reason listening, please do build some good crossplay servers, because that would make our life a little easier. Thanks kindly. But Mylander is streaking away now, and it's going to be up to the Red Bull man of Fast to lead us away. He's going pretty slowly at this safety car restart. It is his prerogative when to go, as Jens has now picked up a 5-second penalty for a collision with L4EH. And how quickly does that change things? The man who is probably looking best to win this now has a 5-second penalty. So this is looking pretty good, actually. I'm not saying I'm glad he got it, but it makes things a little bit more interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. When is Farth going to go? He's taken him right up to the line, it looks like. Pumping that throttle, and he's caught L4EH a little bit napping. And Jens has had a real shocker of a start and has now been overtaken by Iron Kid, who's going to have to give that back. Yeah, that's a strange decision from Iron Kid. And it now looks like Jay-Z is going to make a move up the inside. We're going 3 wide. No, Jay-Z backs out. Guys, you're amazing. We love you all. Now got Kadoy on the outside. Is Jay-Z going to... Jay-Z. Nice. Jay-Z going to give him space. He doesn't. He runs out a little bit wide. And that is a position lost from attacking to ahead of him to losing a position for Jay-Z. Jens is still on the back of these 2 medium runners. Farth looking like he has got a good gap of 7 tenths to the AlphaTauri behind him, who has a little bit less rubber on his tyres. So he might have to... that is DMT, or Chris Piper, who spun. It looks like we've had Volin spin. DMT was in the pits. It's obviously came into the pits after that safety car restart, so I'm not entirely sure what's happened to him. In that, is he in a Max Verstappen helmet? Looks like he is. If he does, then he deserves it. No comment. No, I'm kidding. He's a lovely guy, and that's a shame for him. Up front, we have a bit of a strain at the moment. Iron Kid looking like he might drop out of DRS, the most likely the moment, from Jens behind him, or in front of him even. Kadoy, Jay-Z, Speedy Bullets, all on the back of the Aston Martin. And there we go. He has broken that 1 second mark. Is going to burn some of that ERS to jump back within. It looks like Jens has a bit better straight line speed on that car. And we'll be looking maybe to get past L4EH. Does have fresh tyres, even though it's the softer compound. So those tyres are really going to start to come back to him relatively quickly, actually, into this race. He isn't burning much ERS, so he's content to sit behind for the moment, although he isn't going to want to let Fast get too far ahead, especially breaking out of that 1 second zone. L4EH has a little bit of a moment, goes pretty deep, and is now out of that 1 second mark, so you can see that lack of tyre grip hurting the AlphaTauri man a little bit there, and now he's now going to be under attack than he is attacking. Elsewhere, we have Kadoy on the back of Iron Kid. So he'll be hoping to make his way up to P4, hopefully for his sake. He doesn't punt it into the wall for whatever reason, like Charlie did, connection based. Hopefully everything's fine there. Jay-Z is on the back of these guys as well. Speedy Bullet has dropped out of DRS a little bit, but does not look particularly under threat. So he's looking like he's having a pretty nice look. So we've had Patrick Dodge, who's spun the runway. Ooh, don't punt it into the wall there, mate. Looking like everyone's spinning. Everyone's having a bit of a struggle. You can go now. You don't have to wait for everyone. You're ghosted. Oh, yeah, that's a shame for him. Probably did the nice thing and waited for quite a while for everyone to go past. But when you're ghosted, you can rejoin the track. But that's a real shame for him. Hopefully nothing bad happened there between any of the cars. L4EH now really dropping out of that DRS range. Does have a bit of ERS to play with, so can jump back in if he needs to. He is closing back up to the gap. And there we go. Everyone's facing the right way. I know. I know. I meant it more like no one's destroyed each other. And DMT's retired from the session. Is that going to be a safety car? It is. So what's happened there? We will jump aboard with Fast and see what we can see. What's happened to DMT there? Has he just lost it coming out of the... I think his car's gone, so we're not going to be able to see... No. Potentially he might have just lost it on traction. Hopefully he didn't retire from the session. What the fuck? Let's find out what happened. Looks like Iron Kid has had a bit of a moment. Is he in the pits? He isn't. He spun. Iron Kid spun under safety car. Everything's getting a bit more chaotic now in Tier 2. Iron Kid is now spun in safety. That's putting him down to P8. So that is not good for him, considering he was looking good on those only 5-lap old hard tyres. DMT is still waiting to tell us what happened. Hopefully not a game glitch. I swear to God, can't have another one. Will the medium tyres of Fast and L4EH come into... well, I guess Fast can't. L4EH probably could, although it would set him back quite far down the field. So he'll have to do a lot of overtaking, but would definitely have the best tyres in the field and comfortably make it to the end. So we will wait and see what he does. DMT is still typing, so something pretty big. Oh, hit under safety car, busted front wing, pit stop, damage an auto, didn't replace wing, came in, replaced wing, back on mediums I took off earlier and spun into the wall. Oh, that is a shocker. This game is an absolute stinker sometimes. Looks like we've had, is that Farth into the pits? It's not, who is it? Is out Jay-Z into the pits. So he's going to put on, I imagine, another set of mediums? We will wait and see. He is going to put on another set of mediums. So that is interesting for him. He's only going to lose a few positions, it looks like. Is he going to get out ahead of Franz and Vollen? I don't think he is, so he's going to have to take these two. But still, only down into P9 on the fresh set of mediums. It looks like Rab's Iron Kid on the softs, which he will be very quick at the start, but maybe a little bit later on he might struggle. Astro, Marok, Chris and Patrick all on the medium tyres. And that is going to make things a lot more interesting for this race, as we're going to have some pretty... Right after the last time when everyone bunched up. What happened? Yeah. That looks like a warning for Astro on the safety car, which he can get removed if he wants. Although it looks like he's not going to have to worry about that. Bath, L4H and Jens still nose to tail under the safety car. Speedy Bullets, Franz up into P6. So he's doing nicely, although struggling under safety car a little bit. Vollen doing pretty nicely as well. But then we have Jay-Z, who could very much be a contender for this race win. If he can clear the hard runners in front of him nicely and quickly and not losing too much time, then he is going to be right on the back of L4EH, Farthba and Jens probably come the end of this race, because that 6-lap difference is going to be pretty crucial. We're talking 8 tenths, 9 tenths, maybe even up to a second a lap. DMT has left the session. Sorry, mate. Yeah, not great. Sounds like a little bit of a shambles from the game side. That is a pain when it doesn't change your wing. I think Iron Kid was telling me on Wednesday about a time when he changed his wing when there was no damage. So EA is having a fantastic race. Charlie Harris has left the session. EA is having a fantastic race. EA is having a fantastic time running this game. It looks like L4EH dummying going into the pits, but decided not to. Neither does his mechanics. Nope. Nope. Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see. Can Farth streak out far enough in front that he can hold on to the gap when I imagine Jens comes cooling, and potentially Jay-Z and Rabs, who we know does not have a set of hard tyres to go onto, so he's kind of hamstrung. He had to go onto those mediums. He started on the softs, I believe. I hope for his sake he hasn't just done medium, because he does, unless he pits soon. everyone's bunched up. Imagine we'll get underway for these last 10 laps of the opening round of Tier 2 here in Bahrain. And it's been a pretty good race so far. I've enjoyed it. Been a good fight up the front. We've had some good fights down the field. Maybe a few people spinning here and there, but it doesn't look like we've had much contact, if any, at all, between the guys, which is very, very good to see, and kind of the main thing that we as admins were wanting from this opening round. Apologies again for only having 16 with a few reserves. I think a few people just didn't turn up, full-time drivers. So we might be seeing a bit of a different grid when we come back in a week's time for Imola, I think is. So yeah, keep an eye out for that one. Whilst you're here, if you haven't already, go back and watch the Tier 1 stream last night. It was a very exciting one, a very good race, and a pretty clean race as well, an exciting ending. Safety car is going to be coming in this lap, as Farthbut is going to take us away for the second time this race under safety car. Of course, I wanted a peaceful race. Yeah, me too, mate. Me too. And we have got a peaceful race, but an eventful race. We've had a few things happening. As L4, that's the wrong controller. As L4EH is going to be looking to get as good a restart as he can. Maybe a little bit of a better restart than he had last time. Iron Kid, who spun under safety car, is the only one on soft, so he's going to be the one to watch at this safety car restart. He's can definitely be the quickest man on track. Fastbutt has gone already, and he's really caught L4EH napping. Now Jens is going to have to make a move if he wants a chance. Probably it's holding on to the back of Fastbutt up front. Jens is really being squeezed by the AlphaTauri man. Is he going to send one up the inside? It looks like he is. Going to jump off board. A little bit of contact. Can Jens keep it on the outside? The AlphaTauri is going to be there on the inside, but good racing from these two. We're going to go up to a little bit of contact. L4EH is going to have to keep it around the outside if he wants to maintain this position. Can he? On those fresher tyres, on those better tyres, he looks like he's squeezing the Alpine, but still good racing, and the Alpine just cuts him off, and that is P2 for Jens. So that is a crucial move for him in his race, and he will be wanting to close up to the back of Fast as quickly as possible. Those hard tyres and those medium tyres might be almost similar at this point, so we will see what kind of pace he has. With that 5-second penalty, I believe it was, it will be very interesting to see whether the medium runners, it looks like we've had real Morocco spin again. Everyone's spinning out of that tight right-hander. So a few struggles for the guys here. Fast is now 1.9 ahead. So this is going to be very interesting. Will he make it to the end? I imagine with those safety cars he will have been saved a little bit on tyre wear, and probably will be able to make it. But Jens is going to be a factor at the end of this race, but with that 5-second penalty, which we will see whether he can get removed. Sometimes it is, I mean, it's probably the stupidest penalty on the game, the 5 seconds for severe collision. But yeah, we will wait and see. At the moment, Farthbut is going to be your leader for lap 21. 2.1 ahead. Looks like we've had Jay-Z gets past Frand. Piper will jump aboard with him, see where the Haas is. Is he going to send one down the inside? The Haas is really... Whoa, don't run into the back of Speedy Bullet. Then the Haas has outbraked himself massively and is going to lose a load of positions. Look like he might run out the Red Bull of Rabs a little wide, but Rabs has got that move done, and Franz now down on those 10 lap old hards. So you can see, it looks like we've had Chris Piper spin. Real Morocco now up into P13. So these bottom three guys are having a bit of a... And Jens now has spun. Coming out of the... I'm not entirely sure. Hopefully not any contact with L4EH. But yeah, he is spun, and that is a big game changer. Now he's down in P12 with that 5-second penalty, so he's going to have to make up as many positions as possible. Hopefully for our sake and for his sake. It looks like he's going to get past Volovanyanas pretty quickly there. But it's Jay-Z now up into P5. This is going to be very interesting. He is the man to watch at the moment. He's got Iron Kid and Rabs pretty close behind in tow. Excuse me. So Jay-Z really closing up on Speedy Bullet. You can see the difference at the moment. I imagine just needs to wait. Doesn't have to do anything crazy at the moment. He's going to have much quicker tyres, and he's going to have the laps to make a move on the guys ahead of him if he needs. Does have a bit of ERS. He's going to try and make a move potentially down the inside going into the last corner, which might give the Mercedes a chance to re-overtake him. And now Iron Kid's going to get past Jay-Z. Will Jay-Z hang out on the inside? Iron Kid gives him enough space, and those soft tyres of Iron Kid now are propelling him up into P5. Can he make his move past Speedy Bullet and put him in the best position potentially to win this race. Looks like he has. He hasn't got much ERS. He is going to make a move down the inside of the Mercedes. Is Jay-Z going to try and follow him through? He isn't. He's going to think better. Speedy Bullet is going to try and hang it on the inside, but probably just won't. Oh, has a little bit of a moment, and it looks like Jay-Z had a bit of a moment as well on those fresh tyres. Can Jay-Z now make a move with the ERS? He is going to go up the inside. Crucial for his race that he does, and he'll be wanting to get that move done. He does. He leaves it on the outside as a little bit. Looks like Speedy Bullet turns in a little bit early, and that means that Jay-Z is now up into P5, Iron Kid up into P4, and these guys are going to be chasing after the top three. So Fast Burt, who has been leading this race pretty comfortably for a while now, might see a pretty quick Aston Martin, a pretty quick McLaren, and potentially a quick, maybe not a pretty quick Rabs, who has just gone pretty wide and still needs to overtake Speedy Bullet. Jay-Z is going to be wanting to hang on to the back of the, looks like Astro Race as well has got past Franz Piper. Those guys looking like they're gone a little bit wide together. I'm not entirely sure what's happened there. Astro Race with a 3-second penalty. Hopefully no contact between them. Jay-Z is still, within that second mark of the soft running Mercedes, McLaren, bloody hell, Aston Martin. There we go, third time lucky ahead of him. Iron Kid is now going to be wanting to get past Kadoy, who does have a bit more ERS than him, and imagine will probably try and defend this position, but we will wait and see. Does he think better of it and just want to run his own race and pick up points on the first race of the season? He's going to have the DRS, which the Ferrari won't. So here we go. He is going to, Kadoy looks like he is burning that ERS, so he wants that move. He wants that position even. Iron Kid sending one down the inside, much better grip, you can see, and I imagine that will be that move done and dusted. Does clout the curb a little bit. We'll jump on board with Jay-Z and see whether he can make the move as well. L4EH now 4.4 behind Farth. So if Jay-Z wants a chance of winning this race, looks like Kadoy is going to send one down the inside. And he does, he goes way too deep. Does this allow Jay-Z to get through? It does. So crucial for his race. Kadoy making a timely mistake there for the two guys ahead of him. And these guys are really wanting to get past the AlphaTauri ahead of him as quickly as possible. I imagine on the next straight, Iron Kid showing the soft tyres potentially wearing a little bit already. As we've had, looks like Jens and Astro Ace have come together to the first contact. He's taken to lap 23, which is not too bad. Astro Ace and Jens have had a coming together. So Jens' race goes from bad to worse, but Iron Kid has dropped off the back of L4EH a little bit. We've got Kadoy, who will still be in contention for the podium potentially, if he can be dragged along by these guys and potentially make a move on the AlphaTauri if he wants. So it will be interesting to see whether Iron Kid can get past the AlphaTauri before Jay-Z gets past Iron Kid. Iron Kid not with much ERS, and Jay-Z I imagine will burn all of this ERS. Goes a little bit wide, but does get a better exit. And is he going to try and make a move on the soft tyre running Aston Martin? And got it in one. He looks like he has got a little bit of straight line speed. Not burning any ERS, so is he just going to think better of it? Or is he going to try and make a move down the inside? He is going to try. No, he's trying to back out and does so pretty nicely and has a little bit of a moment. Just got kind of squeezed in through no fault of anyone's there. Was trying to back out, but the Aston Martin had the AlphaTauri ahead of him. And that all of this is allowing Farth to clear out in front. So if these guys want a chance at winning this race, they need to do it now. They need to do potentially on the next straight. All the while stuck behind this Aston Martin and the AlphaTauri. They are losing time to Farth up in front. Looks like we've had Real Maroc spin again. That's a shame for him. He's not having the best race today, but he will be hoping to come back strongly in the next race, hopefully. Goes a little bit wide, does Jay-Z, onto the curbs, although hasn't lost a whole lot of time. L4EH really weaving on this straight, making his one weave. I think you're allowed, I'm not entirely sure. But 7 now tenths ahead of Iron Kid. So the man to watch is Jay-Z, because he is going to want to get past Iron Kid as soon as possible. He looks like he might have the better pace a little bit out of these three. Potentially becoming a fight for the last two podium positions. Maybe Farth is a little bit far up the road, unless these guys will have about a second on him if they get past. Will Iron Kid be able to make the move? He's got no ERS, so Jay-Z needs to get this move done now if he wants a chance. There you go, you can see him burning the ERS, and he potentially will make this move. He goes around the outside. Iron Kid is going to really squeeze him, but there we go. Jay-Z up into P3. Is Iron going to get someone down the inside? He doesn't. He thinks better of it. Jay-Z goes a little bit wide. Will that give Iron Kid a chance to make the switch back? It doesn't look like it will. He doesn't have much ERS to play with. and potentially Jay-Z, although a little bit of a slipstream. Is he going to try and send one up the inside? He is, but Jay-Z gives him a lot of space, so very respectful from him. Can Iron Kid? It looks like Iron Kid's made that move, so Jay-Z potentially in being respectful, although we should be respectful, give space, but has lost that position again to Iron Kid, and all the while, as we were saying, helping the Red Bull man out in front. Jay-Z, will he renew his attack on the, looks like we've had Chris Piper now spin. Volin Johannes is probably going for the fastest lap of the race. In fact, he was the fastest lap of the race at the moment. Am I stupid? No, it's Fastbur. That's not surprising. Fastbur has, looks like we've had Patrick Dodge spin. He's in P10. Fastbur with a 32.0. And we'll go back off that, actually. Can't terrible at this. Yeah, Iron Kid is going to renew his attack on the AlphaTauri ahead of him, although just looking like those soft tyres are wearing a little bit. Can Jay-Z get a good final exit out of the final corner and renew his attack on the Aston Martin ahead? He's going to save the ERS, potentially thinking that win is gone now, and just wanting to secure a second place if he can. We are on to lap 26, so we have 4 laps left of this race, as these guys do not have much ERS between them, so it's going to be a straight fight between pace. L4EH is doing a fantastic job actually on those Ailing medium tyres to hold off the much fresher tyres of the 2 guys behind him. We will see the gap, which is, looks like Rabs has got past Kadoy, although Kadoy does not have a penalty and Rabs does, so that might be a nice handy P5 for the Ferrari man come the end of this race. Speedy Bullet situated nicely in P7. Jens has made his way back up into P9, but yeah, not what he would have wanted. Hopefully the initial spin was not contact. It looked like there was a bit of contact with Astro Ace, though later on Jay-Z is going to be saving that ERS, so he's probably just going to save as much ERS as he can for the final stretches of this race. Iron Kid is still trying to make that move on the AlphaTauri ahead of him, who is doing a fantastic job to hold up these guys and hang on to his second place at the moment. So it is going to be a 3-way fight for the podium, probably for the last 2 spots of the podium even, because Fastbur is not clearing out in front, not extending the gap anymore, but probably just cruising. He knows that as he comes onto lap 27, he only has 3 laps to go, and it would take a monumental effort from one of the guys behind him to catch him. Here we go. Iron Kid is going to renew his attack on the AlphaTauri. Is he going to make a move up the inside? It looks like he is. Will L4EH give him space? I think he will. He's a respectful driver, and it looks like he has been run out of space a little bit, but fairly. Will L4EH maybe just going for that DRS? It looks like he was going for that DRS, and now he's going to try to make a move around the outside of Iron Kid. Will probably not have the tyre grip to make this. If he does, it's going to be very impressive compared to the soft tyres in there. You see, even bloody hell, that was very close to an incident. But Iron Kid now up into P2, and L4EH will be wanting to hang on to the back of the guys in front, or the guy in front, and potentially help him defend from Jay-Z behind, who has saved up a little bit more ES than the guys. He does have 24 compared to 12 and 11. So come the end of this race, how crucial could that be down the final straight? Fastburt now 4.5, 5.4 even out in front. So he is looking pretty good. Looks like we've had Real Maroc spin again. He's having a bit of a stinker so far. Volin and Chris are having a nice fight, which I'm sure is lovely. Kadoy is still on the back of Rabs. And Speedy Bullet actually closing in a little bit on the Ferrari ahead of him. But back to the main fight in this race. L4EH is hanging on to the back of the Aston Martin pretty nicely. Jay-Z is really low on the back of the AlphaTauri. Is he going to try and make a move up into P3 down this main straight, which will then give him a chance to overtake the Aston Martin for P2? Will he burn that ERS? We will see coming onto the main straight. He looks like he's just going to save it, even though he probably could get past these guys if he wanted at the moment, but being tactical about it, just thinking about the medium game, maybe not the long game. He's just going to back off, I imagine. Potentially make a move. Ooh, almost, yeah, looked like he almost was going to run into the back of those two, although he's going to get a pretty nice exit. This is a good view from behind the 2 ahead, as L4EH did make that move on Iron Kid to take back the P2 position that he's had for a long time in this race. Kadoy really on the back of Rabs now, and Speedy Bullets just dropping off the back a little bit. Iron Kid is going to have that grip. Jay-Z probably the man with the most grip on track right now. It looks like we've had Patrick Dodge have a bit of a spin. Or is that Franz Piper? The Piper, and he's had another spin. The Piper boys are having a bit of a stinker, and he's stuck. He's been reset. Well, I'm going to let him off that because he was stuck, so absolutely fair enough. Iron Kid now with only 8% ERS. I imagine L4H doesn't have much either. And there you go, 30% for Jay-Z. He's been very tactical about this as we're about to come on to the last lap of the race in a few corners' time. So Jay-Z is going to be probably deploying a bit down this back straight, leading onto the main straight, just to make sure he is as close as possible to the guys in front. He isn't. He looks like he's got a very good exit, so he is probably going to save it all for the main straight and the second straight. So we will jump on board with him and stay on board with him and see what he can do, see what Iron Kid can do, and who is going to take these final two podium positions. There we go, Jay-Z deploying all his battery, so he is going to get past Iron Kid. You'd imagine before turn one. Looks like Iron Kid doesn't have enough, although he's going to be boxed in, Jay-Z is. And this is going to help Iron Kid a lot. He leaves him space on the inside. Oh, leave it. Oh no, Jay-Z has just been squeezed a little bit, and Iron Kid is now probably gonna secure his podium position. Which way will it be between these two? Just looked like there wasn't quite enough space on the inside for the McLaren there, which is a shame to see, but still a very good showing for him. He might have something to say about it. We will wait and see, as he's had a little bit of spin, so just needs to keep his head now and bring home that P4, which will be very, very good points for his McLaren team. Iron Kid is going to probably be too far back from the AlphaTauri, who's done a fantastic job to defend his position, showing some really, really good pace on the oldest tyres in the grid, and probably the worst tyres on the grid at the moment, 18 lap old mediums. He looks like he's going to come home to take P2, but it is Fosber who has dominated this race pretty much from lap 10 onwards. He has led the majority of this race, did not manage to take pole, but has dominated, and he is going to be your winner for Tier 1, barring any calamities into the fast corner, for Tier 2 even, and he's going to kick his season off perfectly. It is the Red Bull man of Fosber who comes across to win the Tier 2 Round 1 season opener in Bahrain. L4EH is going to come across to take the second place on the podium, and Iron Kid is going to be P3, with potentially a little bit of a report coming maybe from Jay-Z. We'll wait and see. Looks like Kadoy with a very nice P5. Speedy Bullet takes P6, and Rabs with a debut P7, which is nice. Jens is going to come across weaving on a P8 for him, and picks up another 5-second penalty. Hopefully that won't do him too nicely. Patrick Dodge, despite a few spins, has picked up a P9. Astro Ace will pick up that P10, or he might lose it to Franz Piper. We'll see, although Franz Piper is making a meal of the last corner. And that looks like that is going to be all the changes for now. Following Johannes with a 5-second time penalty. Although Real Maroc even in P12 jumps only just jumps the Aston Martin head of him, and Chris Piper's going to bring up the field, and there we have it. Bloody hell, a race that I thought could have been a lot worse, and we've managed to get through it relatively unscathed. Iron Kid picks up the game driver of the day. I'll let you guys vote for your driver of the day in the Discord server. But there we are. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching. There we are, the Rebel Man doing a strange celebration as he picks. Oh God, you can tell it's been a long one. As he picks up his first win of the season and gets his championship off to a very nice start, with L4EH and Iron Kid joining him on the podium. Some very good racing there. Maybe a little bit of an incident between Iron Kid and Jay-Z at the end, but we will wait and see the outcome of that, and we will wait and see. The final classification for this Tier 2 race is Fastbar, who is your winner today, picking up the P1 from P2 on the grids. L4EH with a fantastic job to hold on to that P2 and pick up the 22 points. Iron Kid in P3 and Jay-Z in P4. We've had Kadoy in P5, Speedy Bullet in P6, Rabs in P7, Jens in P8, Patrick Dodge in P9, Franz in P10, Astro Ace in P11, Real Maroc in P12, Bolin in P13, got my throat 13, Chris Piper in 14th, DMT in 15th and Charlie Harris in 16th. All of those guys DNF'd, unfortunately. And there you have it. Thank you all for watching. It's been a pleasure to commentate over this. I'm going to go drink all the water in the world because my throat is killing me. But yeah, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And we will see you for BRL, actually, next week, next Wednesday. It will be round 1 around Australia, and I imagine it will be not me, it will be Carter Touristics, who will also be there on Thursday, hopefully, for Tier 1 round 2. So we will see you then. Thank you, Jake. Appreciate you guys watching, and we will see you all later.